really intimidated to come up here. I've like always come to the Queer Mountain shows and just been an observer. Yeah, before I forget, those black people were really loud, weren't they? I don't know, I don't know why they're here. They're just like, and they moved. I don't know, okay, anyways, but, alright. I feel I'm the only person that can say that. It's a handful of people here that can say that. But I really didn't know what I was gonna talk about, and I was kind of freaked that I would be the only lone black voice up on stage. I'm like, oh my God. Someone else has got to be angry about something. But I mean, I'm so glad that everybody went before me. So thank you all the speakers that went before me. I feel validated in what I'm about to say, because thank you. Oh, okay, so I'm gonna cheat you very much. I wrote on paper, so I'm just gonna look at it. So, really what's boiling under the surface for me is frustration, anger, and just the feeling that allyship has been faked so much. Like I feel like just after this election, there's been a shitload of performative activism and just bullshit, and I'm just like this entire year, just people that I thought were rooting for me and other black people really weren't, and it was just kind of more important for them just to be represented while saying, well, I mean, I do have a token friend here or a token friend there, so I can't be all that bad. So anyways, firstly, this country can go fuck itself. The end. I really feel betrayed. Like I've heard and read that many white people are reeling and crying, are surprised, or in utter disbelief that half this country could be so cruel, unfair, racist, misogynist, homophobic, xenophobic, violent, insecure, and willfully ignorant, and would desire so much to bring people to their knees in order for people to feel fucking tall. And I mean, all I have to say to that is, welcome to the fucking club. Welcome to the fucking club. Like, I'm glad this is the first you're fucking feeling it. People of color have felt this, women of color have felt this, queer people of color have felt this, queer people in general have fucking felt this. So welcome to the fucking club. I mean, like, and I'm just speaking like as a fat black woman. I'm a minority within a minority within a minority. So let me just say, for the longest time, there's been like this pain, this annoying thing that's just always stuck with me and just seems to be resonating with other black women I meet. It's this feeling of betrayal. And it's this dull, annoying, consistent pain that heightens every time a white fashion designer commands black people stop being so rude when they're appropriating something like a hairstyle or fashion item that could get praised by someone else, but will not get me a job and will get a child written up at school. This feeling of betrayal that heightens when a black woman is called a bed wench for dating outside her race, but a black man can get praised for it, and he's supposedly doing better, and yet he can turn around and tweet derogative, misogynist, ugly, offensive shit about black women, but swear up and down he loves his mom, and then finish that fucking tweet with white girls winning. It's the heightened betrayal of talking to a woman that has biracial children, and her not understanding that her children will be perceived as black in this fucking country. There's nothing that's gonna stop your biracial child from, there's no amount of all lives matter that you can say to your child. There's no amount of all lives matter that you can say to your child. There's no amount of I don't see color that you can say to your child. They're gonna be this tokenized person at work for their casually racist co-workers, their casually racist schoolmates. they're going to be called articulate for a black kid. They're gonna be used as a human tokenized shield to deflect any accusations of racism for those people. It's the betrayal, the heightened betrayal of having someone young, straight, white, female tell you that you're being divisive and detracting from the feminist movement because you're actually mentioning examples, valid, continuing examples of how race, gender identity, gender expression, fatness, poverty, privilege, sexual orientation, disability, and age really fuck with this discrimination you receive as a woman. Then I just feel like finally that betrayal just sums up, gets even more heightened for me when people say that black feminism does nothing for black people and for black women and it divides the feminist movement. Well, what the fuck do you call Black Lives Matter? That was black feminism. Woo! It's a page. I'm just dehydrated. I'm not gonna lick my finger for it. So, the election happened the day after and saw exit polls. And I can say that I personally felt betrayed as one of 93% to 94% of black women that showed up to vote for a candidate that I didn't even feel fucking represented me. And yet, I had to endure people that I thought were like great friends of mine who decided to let it be known that they were awesome white feminist friends of mine and acted like asses on the day of Hillary Clinton's Democratic nomination. But then the day after this election were just so in their feelings for themselves and couldn't even begin to be like, I'm so sorry. Couldn't even repair a fucking friendship. So, I heard so many stories of people, of these same kind of people that I thought were friends and were willing to defend me, weeping the day after and not mentioning other marginalized people that were gonna have to experience so much under this. So while they wept, here in Austin, a woman that was the only black person that worked at at a company here actually got a clipping of a bloomed cotton bud put directly on her desk by a coworker, and was told by that coworker, well, you've probably seen plenty of those before. While you wept, an acquaintance of mine got message on OkCupid. She's a cancer survivor. Got message on OkCupid being told how much this guy loved wearing his Trump hoodie and how much he knew that the cancer that she had was an evolutionary trait that was meant to kill undesirable people like her and many other black people. Luckily you find out that guy was like a human fucking trash fire. Like, he had multiple arrests, so that's like, we know where people are coming from. They're just fucking trash. We know that, we know. Human trash fire? Oh, comma, trash fire, comma, human. So while you wept and put on that fucking safety pin, while you put on that empty gesture that makes you feel good, like you're doing something and gets you pats on the fucking back, while you sold that empty gesture for $300 to $1,000 as a fucking fashion statement, that empty gesture that personally reminds me of like mini American flags on 9/11, SUVs during 9/11, like right after that empty fucking gesture. And while you were organizing this million woman march that's coming up. Okay, So just, fuck. Like, why would you name it that? Like, why would you name it that? I did a quick Google search on what the fuck that was. Like, after I got an invite for it, like, okay, women are getting together. They're gonna march on Washington. They're calling it the Million Woman March. It's sounding kind of like it's a rock'em sock'em between the Million Man March. I don't know. Like, it could have been like women walking on Washington, something like that. Like www.com and www.net are available. Like, make use. So, anyways. Thank you for hanging in there, guys. Yeah, I know you're some woke ass people. Look forward to coffee mugs. So, let me just scale back to election night. Andrew was actually with me. We were watching live results as they were calling in the states. So, just the more and more that you could see that America was fucking phoning it in, and we were just here at the murder scene, like, it's pretty nasty. I'm just gonna go home. Just gonna fucking go home. I decided I was gonna fucking go home. I just recalled seeing like results for actually like pretty good little percentages for the third party candidates, like Jill Stein and Johnson and all that stuff. And I'm glad. And I remember months prior to this just having to go back and forth with people about, well, I mean, can you see the bigger picture? Like, this is kind of not a time to be doing that. Like, I appreciate the third party. I appreciate the Green Party. They have fantastic platforms. Like, they're really focused on social justice. They're focused on wage reform. They're focused on educational reform. But seriously, fuck them for trying to wedge their ass into Bernie's place. Like, I'm sorry. Like, he's not gonna be the substitute for it. Sorry. Not gonna be, and he's not gonna be like a perfect alternative either. Like, they weren't. Like, after this election, I was just, okay, like, who was the Green Party really? So I just did some minimal amount of research, like, okay, there's their platforms, and I saw their symbol, which I was just like, hey, that kind of looks like a cotton bud if you just replace the cotton. Like, it actually does. Like, it's supposed to look like, it has a stem, it has 4 leaves, they're kind of like a pod that's opening, and then there's the globe in it, and I'm like, oh, you might want to reconsider what that symbol looks like. So I thought, well, what could possibly be a better symbol for this? Maybe. So I was thinking, like, let's take the lower backside of, like, the naked lower backside of Bernie Sanders. 2 beautiful, wrinkly, saggly butt cheeks. Covered, just like, liver spot. And, let me see, up north, there's a freshwater fish that's like a parasite that just latches onto its host. I was thinking you could Photoshop that green, and since the Green Party is very left, we're gonna put it very left on the left buttock. So, and then we're gonna look, we're gonna do some work with the testes. They're gonna be very long, they're gonna be very big, they're gonna be multicolored because Bernie is all about all peoples and their skin colors. So it's very wonderful. And then we're gonna top it off with some wording, some very important wording. So, left testy. Have you grown to care for the American people after all, said Dumbledore. And on the right one, very tasteful, filigreed silver dough with always 2016 on it. Yeah, they need a new symbol. But, okay. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm venting that frustration that I've been allowed to fucking vent. Fucking finally. That's somebody like chewing me the fuck out. Thank you. I guess in closing, Team Katya and oh, she is woke as fuck. Did you know this? Okay, I was watching like episode 18 of on YouTube. Oh man, she actually brought up that Twitter like didn't do anything for Leslie Jones over the summer, but got rid of all those like snake emojis for Taylor Swift. Like, fucking woke. She is invited to the fucking cookout, always. And so are all of you. Thank you. Oh yeah. See, I knew I was gonna forget. Thank you. So organizations to remember, please help the Austin Justice Coalition. Yeah. I cannot tell you how healing they were days after the election. I was numb, I was depressed, I was in bed for several days. And a friend luckily extended the invitation to me to go to one of their meetings. Over 400 people came. And I thought it was just gonna be, well, it's just gonna be some black people, some brown people. There's not gonna be any white people here. No one's gonna care. And of course, you fucking care. And I love you. So please donate money to them. They need help of sustaining themselves. They're a great organization. They actually have a meeting coming up this December 6th that you should, yes, yeah, so please attend. And then specifically, if you're white or have an approximation to whiteness, I hope some of you would be interested in looking up and getting involved with Surge, SURJ, showing up for racial justice. There is a chapter here in Austin. And then definitely before it, I don't want to forget it. Like, we're living in, like, they seem ridiculous to us immediately, but these are really important historical times. And I never thought in my fucking lifetime I would ever see Native Americans fucking suffer the way they've been suffering. So please, don't just keep standing rocking your prayers. Send them money, send them clothing, send them food. If you can, get up there if you can. They need all the help they can. They need people telling it how it is, what's going on there. If you haven't seen it yet, like they're trying to kill them. They're trying to kill those people. They're trying to kill those people. So please, I guess what I'll do, because I do have some more resources on that. On Queer Mountain's Facebook page, I'll just post resources for that, because I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, please. So yeah. Thank you. Closing out the night.
Keeping on revenue. Also, yeah, if you have any other resources, please feel free to share them on Queer Mountain's